In 1882, the Secretary of Interior, Henry Teller, wrote that Native American ceremonies were heathenish practices and a hindrance to civilization. He argued that Native dances and medicine men were stopping Native people from assimilating into white society. He wanted these ceremonies gone, so he ordered the federal government to ban them. And he got his wish. In 1883, the Commissioner of Indian Affairs, Hiram, created a new set of rules. It was called the Court of Indian Offenses, and it was meant to abolish what they referred to as evil practices. And these codes made it a federal offense to practice indigenous religion. To enforce these new laws, they created courts, but they weren't tribal courts. They were tightly controlled by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And the government specifically chose indigenous men who were willing to adopt white culture. Their job was to punish their own community members for practicing the traditional ways. The rules were very specific about what was illegal. For example, they banned the sun dance. They also banned giveaways like potlatch ceremonies. They even made it illegal to offer assistance to the less fortunate. It was even illegal to have a traditional funeral. And these laws also targeted leadership. If you were a medicine man, you were considered a criminal and a danger to the community. You couldn't visit sacred places and gather medicine and hold gatherings. All of this was made illegal. This was an all-out assault on indigenous lifeways and traditions. And the punishment for violating these rules was severe. You could be sentenced to jail time, or you could lose food rations. If you danced or went to a ceremony where people were dancing, the government would withhold food from you. And these food rations were necessary for survival. Tribes were forced into dependency. You were not allowed to leave the reservation to hunt or fish. It was basically assimilate to white culture or starve to death. The purpose of these codes was to completely destroy indigenous culture. But through it all, Native people were able to keep their ceremonies alive. Often they would practice their ceremonies in secrecy or disguise them as secular social gatherings. Here's an important part of the story. Aggressive enforcement of these codes, particularly against the ghost dance, contributed directly to the tensions that led to the Wounded Knee Massacre in 1890. This ban on indigenous religion was not lifted until Congress passed the American Indian Religious Freedom Act in 1978. People talk about colonization as if it happened hundreds of years ago. Indigenous people are still fighting to protect their spiritual lifeways. Just look at what's going on at Oak Flat. There's sacred sites all over the United States that are threatened. That religious persecution that started in 1492, it continues to this day.